yours, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another film review. This time, it's a spoiler-free film review for just turn off the video now, I can't speak. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, I guess we'll talk spoiler-heavy in the next episode of the Activities podcast, or the one after, whatever. This is your spoiler-free review. Me and Chris have just done our little visit to the cinema, continuing our month of movie madness, because start of the month we had Creed, then we had a double bill of 65 and Scream, now Shazam. Next up we got John Wick, and I think Mario's at the start of April. That would have nothing to do with March, but a lot of shit come out in March. I think we're near at the end. I think it is just what John Wick left, maybe. I'm not sure. But we're ticking off all the boxes. Shazam now done. What do we think of it? Well, you're about to find out. Full up from our lovely little pub meal. I'm all full up from snacks and goodness, and I'm all chilled in the hoodie. You got to get back home. You got to get in the hoodie because it's nice and relaxing, and it's just fucking beautiful, and I love it. First thing I want to talk about is firstly, I adored this film. I thought it was so fun, and it was so great, and it was so awesome. But I went into it with a bit of like, okay, we know we had James Gunn's talk. We know that this classes in the Elseworlds universe. How we're going to impact it forward in the DCU, because I don't know what's happening with Shazam in the future of the DCU. What's going on? We also do get a couple of one or two nice little fun little surprisey moments in this as well, which you'll check it out. But so we went in thinking, okay, the only DC film recently that we're going to go into going, okay, how's this going to impact the DCU, this new world they're building, would be the Flash film, because that might have ramifications and points as to what. We don't know yet. It's still somewhat of it's not as much of a mess as it was, because James Gunn did iron everything out, but the films and the projects that we have still to come need to work out what they're doing. We know that's Elseworlds, we know that's here, we know that's there. And a way forward. But as it stands, we don't know what the future is for Shazam. The plan that he made out, he didn't mention Shazam. So, at least for now, this is the last one. What did we think of the film? Zachary Levi, fucking awesome. Just, I honestly, I adore him so much. He was born to play this Shazam. The goofy, over-the-top, silly shenanigans. That him and, when Billy Batson turns into him, carrying that childhood nature comes through in Shazam, being like, hey, Khaleesi, and, I just threw a truck at that dragon, all that kind of shenanigans. Helen Mirren being a cool, badass villain in this as well, which is quite cool. There's also a Fast and Furious reference, like, oh, you're now a big part of that world, which is quite funny to see and mention. I think you see that in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Just like the first film, this had a hell of a lot of heart. It had so much heart, and it had so much upbeat family moments. Here they are, Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious again. But it was so, I wouldn't say mega emotional, but it does carry a lot, like I said, a lot of heart and a lot of emotion in the film, with the Shazam family and all the kids, and we know the story. This is the Helen Mirren's trying to take the power of Shazam and all that carry on, and what you're doing for your family and all that kind of stuff. And the story plays out lovely. It plays out nice and smooth. We get towards the end, and it is a little bit sort of just drawn out a little bit to in the third act, but throughout the whole film, I was laughing my head off. I enjoyed it. It hit me emotionally. It was great watching the fight sequences. I could watch Shazam just fly around all the time, watching Billy jump off buildings and Shazam. No, it didn't work. You got to try. You got to try the Shazam things, but it didn't work that time. More of the whole Shazam family coming into effect, because this another little small critique is they should maybe have made this film a little bit longer for me, because there was a lot of characters to draw out in this, and not that any of them are rushed, or not that any of them were just sort of weren't written well or done well, but there was a lot of story and a lot of people, but didn't feel like, I think what is this film? Hour and a half, hour and 40. Well, I'm looking at the TV like that will give the answers. I don't think it hit 2 hours. I don't think. Anyway, it still carried on the tone, the more upbeat, the more brighter, the more colourful, the more happy, fun sort of adventure like the first film. The rest of the DC EU was a lot more darker and sinister, even like like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, Batman v Superman and shit. Maybe not sinister, but darker. Whereas this continued the upbeat, fun vibes. It was nice watching Billy Batson still going around, still trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm a hero. That again in the trailer, so we see it's fine, but the moment where he's talking about like Aquaman's badass, and there's already a guy that runs around with a lightning bolt. Batman's super cool and stuff, and he's still reflecting and wondering where he fits into this world of being a superhero. And he does a fantastic job. Again, you got to remember Shazam's just a kid, and he does a great job at making himself the hero and being the hero that at the time the world needs and stuff, and everybody needs. And I just thought everybody was done so well in this. Everybody acted their part. Every actor and actress that played a member of the Shazam family did so well. I'm never going to argue with Helen Mirren. Absolutely amazing. Actual Shazam, the one that gives the powers, he's fucking awesome. I can't remember his name. Is it not like Dejin something? Whatever he's in, I'm gravitated to him. I fucking love him. I love him in Never Back Down. He's fucking awesome. The fight scenes and whatnot in this film are such larger than life, so over the top. Like I said, fighting a big dragon, you know, the whole Khaleesi moment, like I said at the start, all of that was so great. A couple of, like I said again at the start, some fun surprises and returns and whatnot. But you're going to go into this film and you're going to see some really awesome action stuff. You're going to see a lot of heartfelt family moments. Of course you are. That's self-explanatory, you know, with the all that carry on. And you're going to have a real good time. You're going to have such a fun time. It looks great. The way that they film the fight sequences and whatnot, you know, up in the air and stuff like that. And, you know, a bit with a big dome and that comes over. And it all just looks great. It doesn't look all buffety and crappy. And, you know, some people would still moan about so that didn't look right. This didn't, you know, they didn't work well on the CGI's a bit. But I thought all of this looked flawless, and visually it was outstanding. Because again, there's a hell of a lot of this film. You have to, because it's not just a superhero on the ground or whatever. It's a lot of magical powers and, you know, buildings being destroyed and mythical creatures and Shazam using his powers and stuff like that. I still to this day don't know if Zachary, if how padded the suit is, or if it's him actually, because he's fucking jacked in these films. Like, he's ridiculously huge. So I don't know how much of it's workout and whatnot, but he looks phenomenal. You're maybe gonna be a bit like me, a bit like, oh, I'm a bit sad now because I want to see you again. I want this Shazam world to continue, because it's one of the crown jewels for me inside of the, probably grab my own tit, inside of the DCEU stuff. It's one of the more up there films, alongside Aquaman and stuff, because a lot of them are very hit and miss. But just like the Suicide Squad, James Gunn, he made that for me absolutely brilliant, outstanding, and it saved any sort of Suicide Squad live action stuff we got or we do get now in the future. And I think there is definitely room for Shazam, and I definitely think there is a future. I just don't know how they're going to implement it. I don't know if they will implement it. But I hope they continue. I think so when I left, I felt a little bit like, amazing, awesome, we had so much fun there, that was great. When am I going to see you again? It was one of them sort of moments, and I haven't got the answer that only James Gunn can tell us what's going on there. But visuals, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. I'm usually more upbeat and more optimistic. I know it's not the film's fault, but because I don't know where we're going next, I'm going to have to downgrade it. But again, that's not really the film's fault. So maybe no, we'll ignore that point because it's not the film's fault. We're going to give it a 9 then. It's just the last part was definitely a little bit drawn out, and they could have used that time better. I think you'll maybe see when you get to it. They could have maybe done it a little bit better. And like I said, I know I am super biased and optimistic, and I was going to give it a 10 out of 10, but I thought, no, I need to be a little bit more critical. And if I find one critical point, I need to pick up on it, and that is my critical point, and that's it. Apart from that, I would have given it a 10 out of 10. Looks fantastic. Fun, extremely fun, constantly having a giggle, having a laugh. Loads of heartfelt moments and loads of, you know, come on, do it for your family sort of, that superhero, get up and do it sort of moments are on there. It's a great comic book film. It's a fantastic comic book film, straight from the pages onto the big screen. And as a comic book reader, that's what I want. And as somebody that's never really read a lot of Shazam, I've read a few things here and there. It was another good way to dive into that universe and explore it a bit more and learn about what's what and stuff like that. So awesome, amazing, but I'll give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the last little third act. Have seen the film already, visuals? Please let me know in the comments below what you think of it, your likes, don't likes, all that carry on, and if it was good for you, if it was bad for you, if it was not funny, if it was funny, whatever you want to let me know. And where do you think this should go forward in the future? And if we don't think they are going to do anything, how could you think of a better story or better thingy so they could implement it into the future? Because none of us know, but I'm sure one of you lovely legends will have a beautiful theory out there. But apart from that, visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the best. That was my spoiler-free review for Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Hopefully I reviewed it well enough. I think I did. I don't know. I'm really shit at stuff, but I like to do it. Apart from that, visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the best. More keep being you, and keep out, keeping out.